Alright, this demo is for color pencils, and I'm just going to use some basic primary colors, your red, blue, yellow, and white. I'm also going to be using that as well. And also the other one we're going to use is black. Alright, so just to get you a little more familiar with how to blend color pencils and use them more effectively, got a couple different techniques that you might want to try. Alright, so the first technique really is just to use the side of the pencil. You get a very soft kind of look that way if you're using the side of your pencil. Color pencils, as you probably already know, will also intensify in color if you press down harder. So right now I'm using a light pressure. I'm holding the pencil at the very end of it and just trying to fill the space. Alright, so I've got a very nice light color yellow. This will be great when you need to make tints for your creative color wheel. Alright, so light color, I've got a tint. I don't need to mix it with white because the white of the paper shows through and makes a very nice light color. Alright, so let's just try it. We can try it. I'll see if I do, add more pressure to my pencil and fill that space in and make the color more intense. Right now it's still a tint. The only way I'm going to get it as pure hue is if I really press down and get rid of and cover over any evidence of the yellow paper that's kind of, the white paper that's underneath. Alright, so now I've got more of a pure hue in this section because I've covered up all of the white paper that's underneath. Anytime the white paper shows through with color pencil, you're going to wind up with a tint of the color. Alright, so if I take my white pencil, and that's what a tint is, it's a blend of white and yellow, you're going to see that it's really hard for you to make a tint that way. Alright, because what happens is it's so intense that it's hard for the white to show up over top. So kind of gets there, but it's not a very effective way to make a tint. If you start with white and add your yellow over top or add your color over top, you can try that also. That's another way that you can try to do a tint. For me, I just prefer having the white of the paper show through to make a nice tint. It's quick and it's easy. Alright, so one of the ways that you can blend your colors, like I said, is to use the side of the pencil. There's just one technique. You can make a real nice gradation this way. Alrighty, so if I wanted to go this way and make a gradation in your color wheel, you might have something that goes from light. You might plan to do each pure hue going from light to dark in that way. And then if you wanted to create the shades, remember a shade is when you're adding black to a color, and that dulls the color and also makes the color darker. So if you think of it as taking a color and putting a shadow over it, for example, that's going to make the color darker. Alright, so to add the shade, I'm just going to go lightly with the black. And if I were you and I'm mixing and trying to just do some experimenting, I definitely would go slow with color rather than go fast. Alright, so I'm kind of using the tip but also somewhat the side. And now I've got a shade. It may look a little bit green. It's a little bit cast over there. So I'm just going to get the side here, a little more. And if you like the way that looks, great. But if not, you may want to come back over again, over top with the yellow again. And again, it's going to intensify the shade. It does mix it up a little bit more. It kind of pushes the pencil color around. Color pencils have a lot of wax in them. They're a waxy type of media. So again, you might want to try to go that direction. Now, if I wanted to make a tertiary color or a secondary color using this, because you might not have the full range of the 12 different colors in the color wheel, so if I wanted to do the tertiary, I'm going to pick a red color, and I'm I'm just going to go over top because you might not have a tertiary color unless you've got the big box of color pencils. Alright, so again, I'm just going to go lightly over top. I also, if I'm working with color pencils, I think it's always best to start with your lightest color first and then add a darker on top rather than starting with a dark and adding a lighter one on top. Alright, go slow and easy rather than, quick and dark. Alright, so now I've got kind of like a yellow-orange color here, and that's one of the tertiaries that you need to include on your color wheel. And that's a color that I don't have in my box. Okay, so side of pencil. Alright, so for this one I'm just going to pick a different color. This time I'm going to start with blue. Hatching is just another technique. And for today's assignment you do want to just get some practice. So I'm just kind of like putting hatch marks in. Hatch marks are basically linear marks. More so using the tip of your pencil rather than the side of your pencil. So I'm going to try to go light to dark here. Again, right now it looks like I've got pretty much all tints because you see so much of the white paper coming through. And again, you can vary the pressure on this. There's no one set perfect technique. It's what you like, what you're comfortable with, what your taste preferences are. Okay, so now I've got a nice indigo or blue going down here with hatch marks. The more hatch marks you place close together with harder pressure, the darker color you're going to get. Alright, so I've got a tint down here. I've got kind of pure hue in the middle, almost. Still seeing some white through there. Alright, and then I'm going to take the black and make a shade of the blue. Okay, so in your creative color wheel, this might be a way that you want to get all of them. You may not want to have like separate little shapes for each one of these hues. You might want to just have them all sort of blend in your design. That's definitely an option. Alright, this still looks too gray to me, so I'm going to come back over with some blue and just make it look really nice with blue. Okay, so that's kind of hatch. If you want to do cross hatching, you can certainly come back over, go a different direction. It's just going to give you a little different texture. Okay, so if that's a look that you like, cross hatching is another option. Alright, then lastly over here is burnishing. And what burnishing is basically, this time I'll use red. Burnishing is a way that you can sort of mix and blend colors. Since color pencils are waxy, what you can do, you can take a spoon, you can take a white color pencil. They also have something called a blender. If you want to buy a blender pencil, color pencil, you can use that as well. But burnishing is a way that you're basically rubbing something to make it shine. Alright, so you can do that with a white color pencil. You could probably even take, some kind of just hard object. Like I said, you could use a spoon. I could also just use the back of this pencil, and if I rub it, it's going to become shiny and it's going to push the wax around, and it's going to make it go together. You can also do that burnishing with the white pencil, and it just is a way to kind of blend your colors. So if you want like that really smooth, sort of shiny look, I don't know how well that shows up here in the video because it's not real high def, but you can see that's another way that you can just kind of take material and sort of push it around. This might be something that you like for really finished, more refined look. Okay, and that's about it. I'm not going to go down here to shades because pretty much showing you a shade here and a shade here. Let's see if we can burnish and then maybe put on top. We could continue to kind of layer. Here I'm going to put that shade of the black on top. Okay, then what if I came back with the white again? and just sort of pushed it all around. Just gives it a really different feel. I'm not too crazy about the way that looks, so maybe I'll just add more colors. So basically with your color pencils, think about layering, because that's something that beginners don't always think about, is layering their colors. Again, I can burnish it again with the white. Right, and move it around. So again, just another technique. All right, have fun, play with it, make some of your own discoveries, and tell me what you found. All right, thank you.